Hello, hello. Um, I just want to start by saying again, thank y'all so much. It means so much to me that y'all are still here and still like my audios. Um, and I think I said this in the last Q&A, but I really do hope that my audios continue to help in any way, shape, or form. I really do hope that they're doing more good than harm. Also, I'm back in my college town, so you might hear more cars outside. I am recording this like in my bed with like a little pillow fortress type of thing. But it is kind of close to my window, so if you hear cars go by, I hope that helps with the mood maybe. Also, I might be a little bit sniffly. I think my allergies might be kicking in, but hopefully it's not too bothersome. I love answering questions. I love doing Q&As because I'm lazy. So I really do enjoy these, and I hope that this ramble is able to relax you and help you fall asleep, because that is the main goal of this channel. So I rewrote them on my phone, but also I'm gonna do my best to pronounce like the usernames and things. I apparently am very bad at spelling and pronouncing things out, so please bear with me. Okay, so starting off, let's a question by Fatal Error and Maji. They asked, did you get inspired to do ASMR by watching or listening to other creators, or what got you into it? I think I answered this and a couple others, but I got inspired by watching like ASMR boyfriend ones. I was going through like a darker time in my life, and I was like struggling with college and like self-image issues, academics, things like that. So I started watching or listening to boyfriend ASMR. I was watching like the regular non like role play ASMR, and then I stumbled onto the boyfriend ones, which I'm not gonna lie, when I listened to like the tapping and whispering, like the quote-unquote normal ASMR, I saw like a boyfriend one pop up in my like feed, and I was like, oh, what is this? Like, get that nonsense off my like For You page. And then lo and behold, look at where I am now. But yes, I was listening to those, and I was like, wow, like maybe I can do this too. Like maybe somebody will think my voice is nice. Maybe I can help people, like, you know, the boyfriend wants to help me, and I started making videos. I will say I had like the wrong pretense about like girlfriend ASMRs. I thought it was like a really niche, it is kind of niche, but like field, but it's kind of like oversaturated. So I did not realize that there was so many other content creators in this field, but I'm glad that that means that there's a lot of variety, so everyone can find something to listen to. But yeah, so that's what really got me into it. I wanted to help people. I wanted to help my speaking abilities. I still really dislike public speaking, which is really crazy. So I'm a marketing major, and last semester I was taking 5 classes, and I think 4 out of 5 I had to do a group presentation. So even after I keep doing them, I still do not like public speaking, which is kind of funny because I don't know, speaking in front of a class is very different than back when I was an instructor slash coach for a martial arts gym. So I taught judo, I taught wrestling sometimes, I taught kickboxing, I did like 2 women's self-defense seminars, and then jujitsu. So at first I would like help the instructor with like the little kids, and then eventually I would like teach like the kids, and then as I got older I was teaching not only like the kids but like adults as well. So I was getting to teach like very young children, people my age, and then people that could have been my parents' age. But it's like really different in that aspect, because I was okay teaching like in front of a class. I think it's because it was more laid back, but I don't know, I thought I would be prepared to teach, or I mean to present a group project, because like, oh, I taught classes, and no, it's very different, and I greatly despise it. But yeah, I wanted to help with my public speaking abilities. I think I wanted some type of confirmation that there was something, I don't know, that people would like my voice. But yeah, it's kind of a mix of why I started. Mavis asked, how much time does it take for like to make an audio? Usually, I guess it depends on the audio, but usually my audios are around 10 to 15 to maybe 20 minutes long. Again, I guess it like depends. So to set up is really simple. I just put my pillows around my microphone. But it doesn't take me too long. It takes me like maybe 15 minutes, no, like 10 minutes to like get the thumbnail, to create the background, things like that, and then just to get like the software set up basically, and then to upload it takes like less than 10 minutes now, because I got a new laptop at like the beginning of last semester, which is crazy because when I had my old laptop like last year, like 2 years ago, it would take literally like 2 hours to upload or to render like a 10-minute audio. So not only would it take an extremely long time for it to like render, my laptop would have to remain on, and the screen couldn't go black or something, so I had to make sure that my laptop screen was like actually on and going. And it was so old, the fan would just speak, it was so loud, it sounded almost like a gaming computer type of thing, but I was just like rendering like a literal 10-minute video. But yeah, so with my like relatively new laptop, like less than 10 minutes. I think in my video, I mean right now, like my videos are like 10-15 minutes. It takes like 2 minutes to render. So that has been extremely nice. And then I guess really the longest part besides the actual recording is just uploading the thumbnail and adding all the tags, the playlist, figuring out what I want the description box to say, the title, adding like the end page or the end credits or something like that, and like the other cards that you can click on throughout the video. So doing that, I think, is the most tedious part. But so all in all, the whole process takes like 1 to 1.5 hours for like a 10 to 20 minute video. Now the 2 hour long videos do take a little bit more time to render. The 5 hour one, I think even with this new laptop, took 2 hours. which isn't like terrible, but it still took a hot minute. But yeah, so usually like an hour to an hour and a half. Okay, so Victor Velez asked, have you found it hard to be a Christian in college? I have been very blessed with my time at college. My first semester, when I was like going through it, I don't want to say I was like depressed or anything, because I'm not like diagnosed, but it was a really rough year. But I had like I think I had like 3 friends. Like, it was a little girl group, and it was fine, but they weren't very strong believers, so they never pushed me or like upheld me to that level, which it shouldn't be someone else's responsibility. I understand that, but I also didn't have a car my freshman year. I left it at home because I really do dislike driving, so I couldn't like go to church. But I think all in all, I made a lot of excuses. I thought I was too busy. I was like, oh, I'm not in the right headspace. Like, once I get better, then I can start going to church, which was such a terrible like mindset. Like, you can always go to church no matter where you are in your life. But I also have been really blessed that the things I struggle with aren't like alcohol or partying or things of that nature. I'm introverted. I'm not a fan of alcohol. I'm also 21, but I don't like the taste of alcohol. I don't think it's a good taste. Also, it turns straight to sugar. It's super high in calories, and I don't want to get a headache. I don't like headaches, and I think I don't have any reason to want to be tipsy or drunk. And if I'm going to drink, like, if I'm going to consume that many calories for something that tastes like awful, like, I'd rather just eat like bread or some type of pastry, like things that taste good, or like Welch's. Like, I love Welch's sparkling grape juice. Like, that stuff actually tastes good. But so I never had to struggle in that area, but I did struggle with like other things. But my sophomore year, I found a really great church. I got into a Christian organization that was also for business majors, which was great because it was like I'm surrounded with like other Christians, but we're also in the same major, so we're going through the same things academically, at least. So at like one point, I had a Bible study on Monday. I had this sermon thing on Tuesday, and then Thursday I had my Christian business meeting, and then Sunday I had church. So I was really into it, and it really did help. I think just finding a really good group of like Christian friends as well, who they're always so uplifting, they're always kind and like really positive, and like the kids in this organization are like cracked. Like, they're OP, they're super intelligent, but so humble, and they're always willing to help you out. So I think, me finding a good like group of like Christian friends, but also like having friends, I think that really helped me out. But definitely like the first semester really struggled with like being a Christian. I was really lukewarm. But yeah, I think right now it's just me getting into the Word, making sure that I'm like reading it, which I haven't been very good about that either. So I need to find like a good like study plan to do. Rachel ask, which church slash denomination are you part of? So I back at home, I go to a Baptist church, which a lot of people make fun of Baptists, but I don't think my church was like that, because people say Baptists do a lot of potluck, but my church never did that. But back here in my college town, I go to a non-denominational, which there's a lot of non-denominational churches here. I think it's mainly because they know that like a lot of college students come here, so they don't want to be too specific, but it's a really good church. Like, both of them are really well. They heavily use scripture, and they always back up everything they say like with scripture. I think there was one church where it was very strange. I don't know if like the pastor or whatever like misspoke. I think it was a very charismatic church, which you kind of have to watch out for that. But I don't know if he misspoke or what. But he seemed really confident. But he said something like, "Oh, like how can you go from being like a bad person to a good person?" And it's like even when you're a Christian, like you're not a good person, you know? Like we're never gonna be good people. It was kind of, I think like the way he worded it was weird. And then there's another church where the pastor was kind of like, it could have been the same one actually, but the pastor was like, "Oh, forgive me, I'm going to be reading a lot of scripture today." I was like, "Sir, forgive you? Like, you should be reading scripture, like it's no issue." But yeah, so I really enjoy my churches. They do a great job of like, I just love how they operate, how they play like contemporary music at the beginning, and then they do like, what is it? They'll pray us in, and then have us pray for like ourselves and pray for the pastor, and then they'll go right into scripture and then pray us out, and then one more song. But I really enjoy it. I really like that. It's really good churches. Asa Kun wonders how my life outside college is. What do you spend your free time doing other than making ASMR audios? Oh man, my life outside college is not that exciting. Like I said, I'm a very lazy person. I think I have a bad habit of doing like the bare minimum, but I like watching TV. I am a huge, I don't know why, but like if I could, I would just sit and like watch TV all day. Some people don't like, some people are kind of like, oh, they can only watch like a couple episodes or a movie and then they're like done, but like I can go through like TV shows and multiple movies. Like I have no shame in that area. But I do also like working out. I try to work out 6 times a week, so I'll do 3 upper body days and 3 lower body days. And then I have a rest day on Sunday. So I go to school, work out, and then study. I do homework, and then watch TV and stuff, and then make audios. Fun fact though, because I'm a marketing major, right? And I think being a content creator will look really good on my resume, right? But I feel like I don't put it on my resume because I'm like a faceless, nameless, and I don't want to necessarily put on my resume what exactly I do. Like I know ASMR roleplay girlfriend audio shouldn't be something like to be ashamed of, but I still think it's kind of not as widely accepted maybe. So I don't put that on my resume. I put on my resume that I know about like YouTube analytics, but that's about it. Ashy asked, even after doing this for 2+ years, do you find it recording to be a bit awkward? I didn't even realize that until I read this question, that I really don't feel as awkward as I do. When I first started, I had to really hype myself up in a sense. I had to really be like, okay, we can do it, we can do it. Like, you got this, bud. And I don't know, I would kind of like cringe and be like, oh, I hate it, and ugh. But I think time really does help. So I don't feel as awkward. There'll be things that I'm doing, like trying to make certain sounds. Like, I'm in a massaging one and I'm like trying to like massage like my jacket or like my arms to get those sounds, and I felt kind of strange doing that. Sometimes when I have to say more like flirty things, then I do feel a bit awkward, but definitely I find it a lot easier now. Sleepy asked, have you ever struggled with your mental health? And if so, what did I do to cope or get better? Yeah, definitely. I don't want, I'm not diagnosed with like anything. So I don't want to act like I have like severe things, but I think I definitely do struggle with like anxiety, and especially social anxiety. I don't know, I can be in crowds and I can go to like the store, but I think it kind of stems from like self image or like self esteem issues. I don't really know why I have those. I don't know what they came from, but I always feel like if I'm walking and I see somebody laughing, that they're laughing at me, even though like I know, like I really do know that like those people don't even know me, like they're not even looking at me, and they don't like think anything of me. But I'm always like, oh my gosh, like, is it my shirt? Like, is it like the way I look? Like, and I just get so like anxious and like put off about that. And then, like I said, my freshman year definitely was, it was a lot. I was going through a lot, and it wasn't just because of school. There was someone close to me had passed away as well, so really going through that really messed me up. So it was a lot of things coming at once. So it was like in my freshman year of college, and like academically I was like struggling because I was not one of those students, like high school was fine, like I did relatively well, and I didn't have to try as like hard. I still had to try though, but like college was like a different ball game. So I don't know, seeing like lower grades kind of threw me, and then I don't know what it was. I think it was like the stress of academics and like the food, and maybe I wasn't drinking enough water, but like I broke out really bad. So that just kind of like messed with my self-esteem. And then I was I was working out like every single day, but this was before I got into lifting, and so I was just doing like purely cardio. And now, because I was so afraid of like the freshman 15 and things like that, but I lost like 5 pounds, but I was so like I still didn't like the way I looked. And it wasn't until I realized that like lifting was like the way to go. But yeah, I was going through a lot. Like I wanted like a thigh gap, which was so weird and strange. But like to get a thigh gap, like you have to be like genetically like made for it, or like you would have to like starve yourself. So both ways aren't something that like I wanted to do. But really blessed that now I don't have like that type of unhealthy mindset towards working out. It was really awful. Like I was putting myself in like a dangerous spot because I used to go out running at like 5 a.m. like Tuesdays and Thursdays. I made sure I ran in like the well lit area, but I was on campus, And so there's some parts that are really well lit, but it was still like really dumb of me to like do that, and really dangerous. But I think working out in such a toxic mindset, and then, you know, struggling academically, and then struggling with like the loss of a person close to me, really. And I wasn't going to church. My friends were also like super busy, and so we got together maybe like once or twice a month, which is like insane. But it's because 3 of us lived on campus, and us 3 didn't have cars at the time. So I understand it was kind of difficult for like one person to like come to us and blah blah blah. But yeah, so that's the bad part of my mental health. But I think what helped me really was I got back into church, you know, and I started growing my relationship with the Lord, and that really helped me a lot. Again, like, I wasn't like diagnosed with like depression or anything, so if you are, then, you know, make sure to consult your therapist and psychiatrist, things like that, your doctor. But for me, I think going back to church really helped. And then also joining that organization, I gained so many new friends, and we were hanging out like I would see them in my classes, you know, because I switched majors, so I didn't see my other friends. And so I'd actually like see these people in my class and be like, oh my gosh, I know you. And so we would talk, and like I could sit next to them in class, and that really helped me in that aspect as well. With skincare, I figured out what works for my skin, and my skin has like cleared up. It's doing a lot better. And then I have a much more healthy viewpoint on physical health. You know, you have to make sure that you are eating enough, that you're giving your body time to rest. That for me, the way that I wanted to look couldn't be achieved by purely cardio. And I do enjoy lifting. I really do. I feel stronger, and I am like so much more confident in like the way I physically look now. I'm not like, it's not perfect, you know, I still get like insecure about things, but I think it really helped though. So I think just taking a look at your physical health, your mental health, your social health, things like that. But yeah, so that's what I did. Let's see. Okay. Hobia asked, is Cozy's persona last name canonically ASMR? That's actually really funny. I like to think that how all of my characters are named Cozy, but they're like different. They have different personality types. I like to think that they're all the same Cozy, just in like parallel universes. Then in like universe like 1 or whatever, she's like the neutral Cozy, and then like Cozy from like universe like 56 or whatever is like the jealous one. I don't know. But last name, that's kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah, I get, we can do it. Last name is canonically ASMR. That's actually really funny. I love that. Okay, Ace Audios. Bro, what's up, Ace? Super hyped that you commented on my video. Makes me so happy when I see like other like ASMR artists like comment on my videos. Like, oh my gosh, like, you listen? Like, you know me? Did I drink enough water today? Yes, I think I did. I probably should drink more though. Like, y'all make sure that you're drinking enough water. I forgot how to calculate it. I think it's like you take your weight. Hang on. I think you take your weight in kilograms and then divide that by 2. Wait. I don't know how to calculate it, but make sure like you calculate your water intake by like your size, because it's probably a lot more water than you think. This is the username. I'm not like the username is why are you gay? But they ask, what is your favorite music album, genre, artist, etc. I really like things like hyperpop, Sick Kick, he's really cool. So Below, that's a good one. Chase Atlantic, that type of vibe, that's always good. But I'm also really into playlists, so like the Dark Academia playlists. They're like, it's not classical, but it's like very string heavy, instrumental, kind of dramatic. But you might have seen it. They're like the playlist titled like POV, falling in love with the antagonist, or falling in love for the hero, blah blah blah. But those are really good. Also, a really good vibe, especially to drive around at night, is 80s Japanese pop. Kind of specific, but really good. It really slaps. Let's see. Oh, my legs are getting numb. Okay. Sean MD asked, do you ever get discouraged when making the Bible study audios? Let's see. I think it's not, maybe it's discouraged. I think that it takes me a long time, because those I have to put a lot more time and effort into, because it's like, it's a topic, it's about the Bible, and I don't want to misinterpret it. I don't want to provide false opinions, or I don't want to do something to shine it in a negative light. I don't want to mess it up, basically. So I think discouraged is maybe not discouraged because of other people. I think it's mostly like I myself want to make sure that I do it correct, and I do it right, and I do it, the justice it deserves. I want to make sure I'm, glorifying and honoring. I'm doing it in a glorifying and honoring way. Let's see. Sterling J asked, how are you doing today? Well, Sterling, I am doing okay. I just started my summer classes. Yes, I just started summer classes, and tomorrow I'll also be starting my internship. So I'm a little bit stressed at the moment, because the summer class I'm taking, it's not like a easy one. And this one has a presentation at the end too, so yay. But it's a 3-hour credit, but I'm also taking another summer course, but this one's 1 credit hour, which doesn't sound bad, but it's a lot of reading, because we cover 1 chapter a day, or 1 chapter every 2 days, because it's only a 5-week course, so we have to smush everything. But each chapter in the textbook has around 30 pages, so I'm having to read like 30 pages a day just to make sure I'm keeping up. So that's a little bit, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I have to do that. And then for my other class, that one's also reading heavy, so I have to read a bunch of articles and watch videos for that one as well. And that one, we also have a group project, which I think is a little bit annoying, because it's only a 1-hour credit, so it shouldn't be this difficult, but it'll be okay. But also, I'm like I said, I'm starting my internship, and even though it's only part-time, it's still, you know, it's my first time doing something like marketing related, besides my channel, but marketing related in like the actual field. So I am excited for it, but I am like nervous because I don't want to mess up or do something terribly wrong. But what's actually kind of funny about it is it's part-time, right? But on my resume, it's like you don't have to say when something's part-time unless they like specifically ask you. But so I can just say internship and list everything I do, and they don't have to know that it was only a part-time job. Shh, don't tell. But yes, so I'm doing that as well. So school and then internship, and then I'm trying my best to record an audio every single day of the week as well. So I'm basically doing almost like a full-time job at this point, but I just want to make sure that when school gets here for the fall semester that I don't have to send out a community post like, oh sorry, I'm busy. I want to have enough like stockpiled and ready to go. But yeah. And then Warren Bazudenhout, excuse me for butchering that. Who is your favorite ASMR artist? It's like, also, do you have a favorite YouTuber? So I don't really listen to boyfriend ASMR artist that much. Just because the whole day tires me out now. So by the time it like hits like 10 or 11, I'm kind of exhausted. But my favorite ASMR artist is, oh, what's her name? It's Gentle Whispering. Oh, like the haircut one is absolutely beautiful. Like, love it. And favorite YouTuber, I don't know if I have like a favorite one. I really like watching the like get ready with me videos, like the makeup ones. I think they're really calming and fun. Q ask, if I could go anywhere besides where I came from, where would you go? I would go, I mean, I've been out of the country like twice, but I would love to go. I wanted to go to South Korea because the food looks so good. But I don't speak Korean, and I don't think I would know how to navigate the city. But oh my gosh, I love the food. I recently had like Korean fried chicken, and it was immaculate. It was so good. Absolutely enjoyed it. But yeah, I think mostly Korea for the food. I don't know, the overall aesthetic is like really pretty too, and the culture. Another place was Japan, but the food as well, but I think the sights like the cherry blossoms, things like that, as well as I really want to do a hot spring. Like, I love hot tubs. I love like soaking in a bath, and I just feel like a hot spring would be amazing. But I would definitely probably have to take like a man with me, because I hear that they have a really high that there's a lot of like people that grow butters, which is a big no-no. So I would definitely have to take a man with me to Japan or any foreign country. Another place that I think is absolutely beautiful is New Zealand. Like, New Zealand just seems so pretty, and I think they speak English. So Bali looks like a really pretty place, and I think our currency outweighs theirs, which is always nice. Let's see. New Zealand. Ooh, I always wanted to go to Scotland too. I don't know, I thought that'd be fun. That guy Oxy, pick between hamburgers, sandwiches, or hot dogs. Hamburgers, I love those. I really do like corn dogs too. I also enjoy hot dogs. There was this amazing hot dog stand that was outside of this like construction store back in my hometown, and it was, I kid you not, the best hot dogs. Like, I'm a very cliche girl, so I never like wanted to go to the construction store with my dad, but I would go because I knew that he would give me a hot dog. Like, these hot dogs were phenomenal. They were so good. And then I think they had some beef pun. They had some falling out with like the construction store or whatever, so they like left, and it was really sad because I don't know where they are. Let's see. Gunnar Robertson asked, are you planning on doing more Bible study audios? Yes, I am. Canadian Gringo asked, what is your favorite color in food? My favorite color is green. It's still green. I love green. I think it's so pretty. I'm really into plants and things. And favorite food, I don't know if I have a favorite. I love pasta. I love noodles. I love, like, I love breakfast tacos, non-breakfast tacos. I recently had, what is it, birria tacos. Like, those are so good. Super greasy, but those are really good. And then I had a really good bowl of, like, ramen, and that was really good. It's like a really good and hearty meal. But I'm like a sucker for like pasta and stuff. But I am trying to eat a bit more healthy now. But yeah. My go-to, I usually crave more sweet foods, right? So I'm not much of like a salty type of gal. So I like, if I'm craving something, like, I really like ice cream, but I also really like chocolate. I know dark chocolate is like better for you, but I'm not gonna pretend and act like that I enjoy dark chocolate more than milk chocolate. Like, dark chocolate is good, but I don't know why my favorite chocolate, oh, besides, what's it called? It's the ones that come in like the gold wrap, the gold foil. They're kind of expensive, but they're really good. Besides those, I really like Hershey's milk chocolate with almonds. I don't know why. It feels kind of childish, but I really do enjoy it. Kent Lou asks, how do you record the long audios, like the 5-hour ones? Well, Kent, I am going to expose myself. I loop them, which I know is terrible, and I apologize, but I think 5 hours just leaves too much to chance. I would have to cut out a lot of things. There's a train that runs by me sometimes. You know, you got those college guys that like to speed down the road, so it would have been a little bit difficult. But yeah, I loop it. I know. I'm sorry. Kenman asked, will you do any meme-ish ASMR? I have no idea. I think when I first made the Bible study audio, I think people thought that was a meme until they listened to it. I wanted to do like kind of quote unquote like parody audios in a way. Like, I want to make like a, you know, the whole like patching up your, or like, I don't know, I've seen like the boyfriend ones where it's like patching up your boyfriend who got into a fight or something like that. So I wanted to do one about like patching up your girlfriend who got into a fight, and it's good to be her being like, yeah, I hit this guy. Yeah, it was gonna be really like, I don't know, exaggerated, like, broke his nose or something and you're having to like wrap her hands. I don't know. But I wanted to do something like that. But I don't know any other meme-ish ASMR. Saber asks, do you think you will continue the ex-girlfriend series? Or maybe do some more high fantasy audio stuff? I will continue the X series. All the series that are there, I will continue. I promise. I've just been so bad. And like, not even going up front with you, I have no idea where we left off on the ex-girlfriend, so I would have to do a quick recap with that. That's what like I struggle with, is like I would do a series and then do a different one and blah blah blah, and then by the time like I should come back to it, I don't know what's happening. So I have to like re-listen to it, which I really dislike doing, but I would do it, I promise. High fantasy stuff. I wanted to make a Monster Girls series because I did a lot of vampire ones, like I said, but you know, maybe doing like a werewolf one or something like that. Could even be like an invisible girl, who knows. But high fantasy, I made the elf one and I kind of look back and I'm so embarrassed because I tried doing like an English accent and I did it so terribly. So I could do one in just my normal American accent. I don't know, like a country elf. But I could do something like that. I don't know what type to do, but yeah, I definitely want to do more. I think that would be fun. But yes, just to recap, I will be continuing all the series, I promise. Gilgamesh, could you do a video on Bible verses on dealings with feelings like hate or any other negative feelings? Yes, I can most definitely do that. Nick Play 64 Animation asks, do you have a dog and what's the name? I do have a dog. He's back at home. He doesn't live with me when I'm in college, but he's a very good boy. He's a blue heeler, but we think he's mixed with something else because he has a little bit longer legs, but he still has his tail, which is cute because we had another blue heeler. He passed away of old age, but they had cut his tail off at birth. But this blue heeler, he still has his long tail. But yeah, he's a good boy. We got him like 5-7 years ago, it feels like. We got him at a kill shelter. I think he had like 2 more weeks. But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like him at first because he was just excited, but he kept jumping on me and he kept like scratching me and he would like nibble. But my dad was like in love with him and I was like, fine. But he's the sweetest boy. Like, he is the sweetest dog ever. He does get very jealous though. If he sees 2 people, if someone comes over or he sees 2 people talking to each other, he'll try to nudge his way in between and he'll start barking. And especially if like a new person comes, he'll go up to them and like sit on like their lap. He's a very jealous dog, but a very sweet boy. And I'll keep his name a secret, but I'll give a hint. We named him after one of the Greek titans. Ooh. I don't know why. I think I named him. I don't know why I named him after that. I thought it was a cool name. Let's see. Schaefer Hike asks, if you ever wanted to collaborate with anyone in the future, who would you want to collab with? I have no idea. I don't listen to the girlfriend of ASMR roleplay artist, mainly because I don't want to hurt my own feelings. Because like I think I listened to like a couple and I was like, oh my gosh, these girls are amazing. and I don't want to compare myself to them, so I don't really know many of the other like female ASMR artists, roleplay girls, and like I don't talk or communicate with them, so I don't know who I would want to like collab with. I would be down, like I'm totally open for it, I just don't know who. But yeah. Bing Tant asked, what do you see in the future of this channel? What can we expect? I want to keep this channel going as long as I can. I don't really have an age set where I want to stop. I think I'm going to keep doing it, like, I don't know, for as long as possible. Who knows? But I think the content's going to be relatively the same. I have, like, a really fun idea to do. I think just executing it is going to take a lot of time, and I have to figure out the logistics, but I don't know, I want this channel to still retain its like original purpose, is to be a wholesome channel whose main purpose is to help you sleep, to help you relieve stress and anxiety. That is the main goal. So again, content would stay relatively the same, and hopefully in the future there's a good ending for the Roommate series, and hopefully I'll actually finish these series. Dream holiday location, I have no idea. I guess it depends on the holiday. I feel like for Christmas I want to go someplace like cold, you know, but like New Year's I would want it to be like warm, even though it's like right after December. I don't know, I guess it just depends on the holiday. Let's see. And then they also ask, when we continue the Roommate series. Like, bro, I promise I'm gonna get to it. I don't know. I will say though that when I first started, I recorded like, I think I was on episode 3 of my Roommate series, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna record like the confession. So it was gonna end, like, the Roommate series was gonna end at like episode like 5. So I recorded like a confession thing for the Roommate series, and then I realized that like, nah, it's too soon. So yeah, it's gonna be like, I don't know, over 10, who knows. But I might post a confession like as a little bonus or something. Let's see. Chorus Corner asked, can we get a new installment in the Tsundere Classmates series? Again, I promise I'll do it. I didn't even know there was a Tsundere Classmate. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind. But I'll get to that. Let's see. Okay, Mizunim asked, do you prefer bone or boneless chicken? I like bone. I like bone-in. I think boneless is a little bit cheaper, and I think it's easier to eat, but taste-wise, I do believe bone-in is superior. Twilight Falchion asks, any recommendations for software or tech setups for someone wanting to try their hand at an ASMR channel? Go for it. I have a laptop. I have a MacBook, so it comes with iMovie. iMovie is free and it's very easy to use, because I don't have to do video editing as opposed to like audio editing. So I use iMovie. I think she does a great job. And then for microphones, when I first started, I bought like a $30 microphone off Amazon, and I mean, you can definitely hear the difference in my qualities, but I think it was a good way for me to start and not to put a lot of pressure on me. But I did buy, I think less than a year ago, I did upgrade to a Blue Yeti. So thank you all for the donations. But yes, I bought a Blue Yeti, which I do believe the sound quality is a lot better. But yeah, just those two things, and you can do it too. Milton Mora asks, have you ever gotten any hate for being a Christian? Not to my face. So yeah, not to my face. The only hate I've gotten on my channel was on my Bible study videos. No one has really like ever said anything directly to me on any of my other videos, so it's just kind of like, wow, this is sad. And then one comment did say that he said something how I was a female who was trying to engorge my own female ego, which was a very strange choice of words, but it wasn't necessarily like hate. But my Bible study video audios, I have gotten like hate, I think, but not too much. Like, it hasn't been anything like terrible. I think I just feel more sad because they have such a twisted view on it as well. But yeah, nothing too terrible, but only on those specific videos. Liam Erasmus asked, favorite kind of tea? I love chai tea, especially chai tea lattes. Green tea is really good, or matcha lattes. He also asked, have you checked out the Vampire Hunter D novels? I have not. I only watched that one movie, but the movie was really pretty and beautiful looking. I don't know if I mentioned this in the other one, but there's another movie called Sword of the Stranger. That one's really good too. Like a beautiful movie. And then, do you ever find it hard to keep your religious beliefs or faith in a world that is constantly moving further away from it? Kind of. I don't think I'm losing. I'm really blessed. I'm not losing faith in God. I think I sometimes lose faith in myself. You know, I don't know, I feel like I should be doing better or things like that. So I feel like sometimes I'm letting him, like, God down. But I think it's hard to almost speak out about certain things because, like, I'm a Christian. I do have like Christian beliefs. So I do think it is hard to be vocal or to tell others. That is kind of difficult. So praying for strength about that. But good question. Let's see. Ton asked, do you listen to something to sleep? I not usually, no. If I do, it might be like music, and then I'll realize I can't sleep to that, and then just turn it off. But I might watch like Gentle Whispering because her videos slap and they're like top notch. I did used to listen a lot to the boyfriend like breathing ones. What's his name? It's his channel name is Tonight Was Fun ASMR, and he was the one who, I don't know if he was the first one, but I think he popularized the just purely breathing audios. So he's the reason that I made mine. So shout out to him. Chris P. Bacon asked, what's the weirdest dream you've ever had? I don't really remember like good dreams. I think I only remember the nightmare ones, which is like fun. But the scariest nightmare I had, it was like a couple years ago, like a hot minute, but it was so strange. Like, it was like dark outside, and I was sitting in, I don't know if it was my car, but I was sitting in a car, and I was already freaking out, or on edge, because it's nighttime. I'm in like a parking lot, and then some guy, like an old man, all like dressed in blue, no, I mean like his skin was blue, like was walking toward my car, and I was freaking out. And then, you know, in nightmares things like shift, And so we were like switching scenes or whatever, and then my parents are driving the car and I'm in the back seat, and it's like really surreal or whatever because they're talking and I'm like already like on edge because I just saw this like blue man try to break into my car. But my parents are driving in oncoming traffic and it's like nighttime and I can see like all the headlights coming at us, and I'm like, Dad, like you're like pull over, like you're in incoming like oncoming traffic, and they're like not listening to me. I'm like freaking out because like, you know, head on traffic, and I'm like yelling at them, and then I don't know what happened, like one of my parents or maybe both like grabbed my wrist really hard, and I don't know how else to explain it, but like, you know those memes that are just like they get really grainy looking, like they just get really dark. I think it's kind of like the Mr. Incredible meme, and since it gets really dark and grainy, and like it's like a huge contrast and shadows, and it's really freaky. I don't know why, but that started happening to my parents, and they were looking at me, and I was like stop the car, yelling, and I realized that I was having a nightmare. So I started like shouting like wake up, wake up, wake up, and then I woke myself up. But yeah, that was definitely the weirdest but also scariest dream I had. Sushi Juice asks, do you play video games? I still do not. I think somebody asked in the last one, and I sadly still not gotten into them. I don't have a gaming console, so I don't have an Xbox or a PS4. I have a laptop, but I don't know. Like I said, gaming isn't my outlet. It's more so working out and watching movies and being lazy. But no, I don't play video games. I did play Minecraft for like a hot moment, like on my phone, but that was like also terrifying because I was on survival mode, and it's like really hard to run or whatever on a mobile device. RYX asks, have you ever had to go through a breakup? If so, how do you cope? Oh my gosh, I think it's gonna rain. It's like thundering, so you might hear some rain noise. Authentic rain noises. But as you may know, or you may not know, I'm not a. I didn't date a lot. I dated only once in high school, and it was literally the shortest relationship. It was 36 hours. He was like a grade below me. He was a junior and I was a senior, and I think my friends were like, because we were really good friends and he was a really nice guy, and my friends were like, oh, you should date him, like y'all are so funny, and like y'all always talk together and laugh together, because I think I was a person who I liked being funny. I liked humor, but sometimes people see humor and being funny as like flirting, so maybe he took that. But also I'm to blame as well, because my friends was like, oh, like he wants to ask you out, and I was like, I don't know, I don't really know if I'm ready for like a relationship. Like, he has one more year of high school, I'm gonna be going to college, like I just feel kind of weird about that, and plus, you know, long distance doesn't sound fun, blah blah blah. And I never really saw him in like a romantic light, but he was a really nice guy. And like, are you sure? Like, y'all look so cute. And they're like, bro, I really do feel like you like him. And that's the thing, if you don't like somebody and your friends are telling you that you do, but you know deep down that like you don't let them push you into it. I'm not trying to blame them, because I'm definitely at fault. It was a very immature moment for me, but I was like, okay, like, yeah, maybe I might like him. And I don't know, they talked to him, it's like, go for it. And so he asked me out, really sweet guy, and I said yes. But I just felt so, like, I felt really down, you know. I was like, man, I don't know if I like this guy. So I told him like after 36 hours, like a day and a half, I was like, hey man, like, you're a great guy, I'm just not ready for a relationship. So that was the breakup, but it was my fault, so I didn't have to. I think what I had to cope with was like how awful I felt because of what I did. You're a really sweet guy, and we still talked afterwards, but I left for college, so it wasn't too terrible. And I think he's doing fine now. He's a smart kid. Okay, Sam asked, can you give some general advice? And he also said that 99% of the advice they've got has been good. I really don't want to be that 1%, but I hope I'm not the 1% that gives you bad advice. I'll give you some relationship advice. I know my relationship history hasn't been top notch, but I think I have really good friends who are in like long-term relationships. One of my friends is actually engaged, and I'm gonna get to be a bridesmaid, so I'm really hyped about that. But anyway, I see a lot of comments and things, but people kind of mentioning relationships and what they want in a girl and vice versa. And I just want to say that, like, when you date somebody, like, your relationship is not going to be perfect. It's not gonna always be like sunshine and flowers and really like upbeat. It's like you're gonna go through like hard times, but like, you know, it's like kind of cheesy, but the whole like you're not fighting each other, you're supposed to be fighting obstacles together. But knowing like it's a teamwork and not a battle against each other. I think it's because someone made a comment saying that, you know, when they date a girl or whatever, like, they shouldn't, like, they wouldn't have to make up, or they would never need to make up because they wouldn't fight, or something like that, or like they shouldn't fight. And like, yes, you shouldn't go out of your way to fight, but also like, it's okay to disagree with your significant other. Like, you're a whole person, you know? Like, you are the person you are because of the experiences and the life you've led. But your significant other is also a whole nother person who's lived, it could be even like a really similar lifestyle, but they're still a whole another person. Whole other person. So don't be afraid to disagree on things. Just, you both have to be mature about knowing when to apologize and knowing how to have arguments in a mature manner. I don't think anyone likes to say that they're sorry, but I think just like knowing other people have like wronged me or I feel wronged by them, just know when they say sorry, it makes me feel already so much better. And I get it, it's hard. Like, I struggle with saying I'm sorry to people, you know. But just when you're in like a relationship, as long as it's over, like it's a healthy relationship and you're not fighting over like trivial matters, like, it's okay to disagree. I will say though that there's some things that you should hold true to yourself, the things that about yourself that you don't want to change about yourself, really. Like I have certain like religious beliefs and that feed into my moral ideology and things like that. So if I'm with someone, I want us to both agree on certain like religious things and like moral things as well. Like, politics isn't such, I think it's important to me, but we can disagree about little things. But I think the overall like direction of politics for me should be similar, you know, just because I feel like a lot of those things it's very difficult to argue about them in a healthy manner. So I rather not that be fuel for fire. Also some other, I guess, like relationship advice, because obviously I'm a pro, is let's see, what was I gonna say? I had something, I promise. I'm totally blanking out. What was I gonna say? It was like decent relationship advice too, I thought. Oh, okay, I got it. I am a huge believer in like being friends with someone and then being in a relationship with them. I know things like, I'm not bashing like Tinder or Bumble or things like that. I'm not bashing them. But I do, and I get how hard it is to organically meet people. You know, because you don't want to be that person like at the gym shooting your shot, because that's kind of awkward. You don't want to you be in class and like, oh, maybe they're here to be academics, who knows. But like, I understand that, but I really think when you're friends first, I feel like it leads into like really great relationships. I'm not saying there's definitely been like great uplifting Tinder stories, so I'm not bashing it, like, I promise. But I don't know, I think being friends first and then being in a relationship. But and also because like when you're friends, you don't have any motives in a sense. Like, you're not with them for any like sexual reason. Like, you can choose who you're friends with, you know. And seeing, you know, that when like you're friends with someone, like, it's because you want to be there as well. And also, like, when you're friends, you can kind of talk about awkward things that would be, or when you're friends, yeah, you can talk about things that would be awkward to talk about early on in like a relationship, like things about how many kids do you want, or if you're religious, or if you believe in like the idea of marriage and blah blah blah. Because like, you know, obviously when you're first dating somebody, you want to be like, hey, how many kids do you want? Because that kind of comes off as like, oh, you're moving too fast. But you know, I think it's like those are important things to discuss within like a month of dating, unless you're just trying to date just for the sake of dating, then I guess those questions don't matter for you. But if you really do, if you're one of those people that dates because you want to get married, I would keep those questions, you know, not in the back of your mind, but somewhere there, so you can maybe slip that into conversation, like, y'all, like, you're on a date or something, not the first date, but like you've been together for a month, you know, and a mom's pushing her baby, and you can be like, hey, that baby's cute, would you want to do that? But yeah, some advice from a relationship pro. Goodness, Cameron Bigley asked, what started the running joke of the listener being a horn dog? I think the running joke started off my own. Like, it's a cliche and it's somewhat sexist of me. I'll acknowledge that I'm being a little bit sexist, and the whole like boys only want one thing, you know. And also I think it's because I make a lot of bad jokes, like, myself. Like, I make a lot of pervy jokes, which my friends kind of made fun of me for that. But I make a lot of like pervy jokes myself, which is funny because I don't like do them. But anyway, I don't know, so I made that joke. I was like recording it. I think it started with like, I don't know, because I know the roommate, like one of my first audios, I made like a pervy joke, but then I kind of like, my character was a little bit more naive, so she kind of was like, what? No. I don't know what exactly, I don't know when it started, but I think it's just me making a pervy joke and then thinking in my head like, okay, if a boy or someone who's like funny, you know, listen to this, what like their reaction be, and they would probably make a pervy joke back or something, and then my natural response would be like, you horn dog, or you perv, or something like along those lines. But yeah, I guess I just low-key sexist of me. Unicorn asked, socks on or off? But I'm gonna assume that you mean sleeping and not anything naughty. This might appall some people, but I do sleep with socks on. It got really cold here during one of the winters or whatever, and I kind of just like, I think it's just like a year ago, when I lived in a different apartment, and one of my roommates was like really anal about the thermostat. She was like trying to match the inside to the outside, which I get, like I love saving money, but it was like, man, like it is chilly outside, you know, like I think it would be like 40 degrees or something, or 50, like 40, and she would keep the thermostat at like 60, you know, to match like the outside. I'm like, nah man, like I'm not gonna pay for this if it's gonna be set at 60. Like I'm cold, like I am freezing cold. It's like, just because you don't get cold as easily doesn't mean you can keep it at 60 when it's already cold outside. So I had to like start layering when I went to sleep, and it kind of just stuck. So I enjoy wearing socks. I wear them all the time. Like once I get home, I like put on like clean socks. Pullovers or zip ups? I think pullovers. I'm a huge hoodie fan. I think because I'm the classic cliche college girl, so I wear the classic uniform for college girls, which is like shorts, or like black leggings, and then a baggy shirt or a hoodie. But like, how can you not love hoodies? I love like baggy hoodies. I do have like, I only have one zip up, and it's like a cropped like black jacket, which is like kind of cute looking, but I think that's the only zip up I have. I have a couple of hoodies, but you can never have enough. They also asked, do you speak any other languages other than English? No, I do not. Which is so sad. I would love to know another language. I did take a language in college because my friend said it was easy, and she lied. But it's also, I kind of forgot because she was the salutatorian in our class. So she was like, she's pretty OP. So I shouldn't have listened to her about that. But in high school, I did take 2 years of Spanish. But the only thing I can say in Spanish is Puedo ir al baño, and ¿cómo estás? And me llamo. It's very sad. And then they had an audio suggestion of like an audio centered around FaceTime or phone call. Okay, I made one like one of my first, within the first months of me creating my channel, I made a like voicemail audio, which was like 3 minutes long, which I don't think you can make a voicemail for 3 minutes, but who knows? I don't have my voice mailbox set up anyway. But anyway, I made a short one like saying like, hey babe, I'm driving, I'll see you, blah blah blah. And then someone made a comment saying something like, what if this was like the last message, you know, like her last voice message, and then she ends up crashing her car or something, which was really dark. But what made it worse is like, I read that comment right before I was about to drive home from college. I was going back home for like the holidays or something, and it freaked me out. I was like, why did I have to read about my character Cozy crashing when I'm about to like go drive? So that was a big oops moment. No Light a Hunter, any new albums or recent bangers? So I kind of touched on it before, but some really good music song is More of You, and it's by Vaus, Vous. Half Alive is a great band. Another band is called Everything Everything. I really like their song. My favorite song is No Reptiles. It's kind of weird. It's a very strange song, but it's very enjoyable. And then I also like Alt J. No Light also asked, favorite recent movie? I really enjoyed Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's super trippy, but it's made by A24, but they did an extremely like good job. It was a really and mixed comedy and like heavy themes so well. Nothing felt forced, nothing felt out of place. It was a beautiful movie. Like the soundtrack and the visual cinematography was like excellent. The acting was fantastic. The fight scenes were done so well. Like they were really fun to watch. And like at the end it gets kind of heavy, but it's like it's beautiful. I think it's a great movie. I would highly suggest it. Jacob Sargent asked, any fictional characters you relate to or favorite fictional character? There is a web comic called The Lady and Her Butler. It's a really good web comic if you're into that sort of thing. I actually really enjoy reading web comics, but it's called The Lady and Her Butler, and the main female lead, her name is Lim Suha. I don't know, I love that character, and I feel like I really do relate to her in some areas. Plus I think she's like a marketer, which is nice. But favorite fictional characters, Zuko from Last Airbender, and then I think Shigeo Kageyama from Mob Psycho is a really cute character as well. And then I'm rewatching Run with the Wind. It's an anime, and I would highly suggest that one because it is like, I don't know, I love, okay, I'm gonna mispronounce it. It's not Haikyuu, it's like Hikyu. It's a volleyball anime or whatever. Like, I think that one's good, like I really do. But Run with the Wind is so much better. Like, please no hate, but I really enjoy Run with the Wind. I think it looks like you're almost like the way it's edited makes it look like it's like a like top quality like TV show. It's like a really beautiful anime, and all the characters are so fleshed out, and it's a beautiful like anime. So I think all those characters are like my favorite because they're all like cute and funny and just like it's a very wholesome anime. Life's Wild Adventure asked, what is your favorite animal? I think in the past I would have said wolves because I really like them, but I don't know, dogs are really cute. Like it's such a like, you know, it's a very trite answer, but dogs are they're so good and they're so cute. But yeah, I don't know, I know dogs, wolves, anything of that nature or family. Laser Waddle D asked, what is your favorite flower? My favorite flower is baby's breath. If you don't know what it is, it's like tiny white flowers. They're usually used as more of like accent pieces, kind of like flowers to almost beef up the bouquet, but they're very beautiful, especially like baby's breath paired with like roses of like any color. But yeah, so baby's breath, lilacs, I love that color, and roses. And I also, here's some advice, a lot of girls, maybe you guys too, a lot of girls don't like flowers. Like we want to receive flowers. I'll like a good, I know, tip to keep in mind or whatever is like every girl wants flowers. Unless she like tells you outright, like, no, I don't like flowers, like, please don't buy them for me, you know, then like obviously don't get her flowers. And if she gets mad that you didn't get her flowers because she was just playing around, then leave, because that's a red flag. But a lot of girls don't want to say that they want flowers because we don't want to come up like we don't want to. I think we have this mindset that if we have to ask for it, then it doesn't feel like, I don't know, as like organic or whatever. It doesn't feel as special. So for Valentine's Day, her birthday, anniversary, or whatever, and if you have that money, like, flowers are like such a nice, cute gift, and they don't even have to be expensive. Like, you don't have to be buying the huge 12, like the huge like dozen of roses or something. Like, it can be little things like baby's breath with like carnations or things like that. And if you want to like learn like the meanings of flowers to be even more cute, then like go for it. But that's also some advice, is that almost all girls do want to receive flowers, but a lot of times we don't want to ask for it. And then Isaac Brown asked, do you play an instrument? I think I mentioned this before, but in high school, I was, well, from 6th grade to high school, senior in high school, I was in percussion. So I played snare drum, like timpani, xylophone, marimba, things that like that. So I could read treble clef, but I could also read bass clef. I am not the best though. I would have to do like the all cows eat or whatever. I would have to like do a little thing to like figure out what the notes were, but I did that. And in high school I was on drumline as well. So when we marched, because I was in the marching band, I would march with a snare drum. But when we did drumline things, I played the smallest bass drum. But yeah, so I was in drumline, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Me and my friend, she played the second bass drum, the second smallest bass drum. She's the one who's actually getting married later this year. So really sweet to see her, since I knew her when we were like in 7th, 8th grade. So it's fun to see her like got to grow up into like the beautiful young woman she is now. But that is all the questions. It was a lot. I hope at this point you're asleep. I hope you enjoy the rain sounds that are happening right now. I actually I recorded like 50 minutes of this the night before, and I finished it today because it got so late. And my laptop is heating up. But I really do hope you enjoy this, and thank you again so much for all your support and for just listening to this and for just being here on my channel. Been through a lot of ups and downs, being demonetized and whatnot, but y'all always come through, and it's very kind of y'all to be here with me. So thank you. I really appreciate it, and it means so much to me. So I hope y'all sleep well, and good night.